Hello students. Now today we are going to start a new chapter, and today we are going to start this circle. Okay. And in this video I will teach you that about the circle, its definitions, and area and perimeter of circle. That how can we derive the formula for area of circle as well as perimeter of circle, or we can say circumference of circle. Okay. So for that, first of all, we have to know that what is circle. Okay, I think that in previous classes you have studied about this circle. So I will define first this circle. So here, circle, that means a closed figure bounded by curved line being equidistant from a fixed point. Here this fixed point, that means center of a circle. Okay, from a fixed point is known as circle. Here, a closed figure bounded by curved line, that means curved line, okay, being equidistant from a fixed point. I have written here center of a circle so that you can understand this one. Okay, it's not necessary to write down this here, just that it will be easy for you to understand, so I have written here. Okay, so this center of circle, that means here a fixed point, so we call this as circle. Suppose that if we fix out this as a point, fixed point, then from this point, now here if we take our line segment of like this, now we have to rotate this one. So if we rotate it like this, then we find that from this point here, all these points, that means this length, that will be equal in length. All these lengths are equal, so we call it as equidistant. Okay, so all these line segments, they are equidistant. It means from this point, if we take any point of this circle, this outer length, this curved line, then that will be equidistant. Then we call such type of figure as a circle. Okay, so now here we have to think that now we have to consider at least 3 or 4. We can take any that circular object. Suppose that I am going to take 3 circular figures. Suppose that this is a 1 circle, 2 circle, and another one, 3rd circle. Okay, I have taken here 3 circles. So now here this is our center point for this. Now in this center, from if a straight line that passes through the center of a circle, then such line segment is said to be diameter. Okay, I will write here. So here diameter, that means a straight line segment that passes through the center of a circle is known as diameter. We call this as diameter. Okay, here this straight line segment, this passes through this center point, so this is called diameter. Similarly here also, this is also a diameter, this one is also a diameter. Okay, we call this as diameter. Now similarly here, this line, this curved line, what do we call this curved line? Okay, so we call this curved line as the circumference. Okay, so this curved line, suppose that from this point, okay, from this point, if we start to rotate it, then this curved line, it will be formed like this. So we call this as curved line. Okay, so now how to measure this? We have the technique, and we have to apply that technique in order to find this circumference. Okay, in this figure also same process, that means this curved line, we call this as circumference. Here also we call this as the circumference. Now let me consider that the length for this first figure, this one, suppose its length that is 8 cm. The diameter of this circular object, that is 8 cm. Similarly, if we consider this one, let me consider it as 6 cm, diameter as 6 cm, and this one as 4 cm. Then here we find that all these three figures, they have the different diameters. Okay, it means that if their diameters are different to each other, and then obviously their circumference, that means the length of this circular object, curved line, that will be also different to each other. Okay, so here the length of this circular curved line, this and this, they will be totally different to each other. Okay, so now here, if we take the ratio of all these figures, if we take the ratio of this circular object, that means curved line, that is circumference, what do we call this curved line? We call this as the circumference. Okay, why we have called this as circumference? Because it is the curved line of a circular object, so we call this as the circumference. Okay, so now we have to consider the ratio of this circumference and diameter. Suppose that the ratio of this circumference and this diameter, we have to find out its value. Okay, and for that, if you want to test it, then for that you need this to do some experiment. Okay, now how to do that experiment, I will explain it, and you have to try it here at your home. Okay, so suppose that you have taken a three circular object, might be that you might take that plate, that cup, or anything else. They have the circular object. Okay, then after that, we can easily measure their diameter. We can easily measure the diameter of the plate, any circular object, whatever you have at your home, you can measure that one. But how to measure this curved line? For that, you need thread or any that you can take that wool also, wool or the thread, whatever you have at your home, you can take anyone. And in this, I will tell you that it will be better to take that thread. Then you have to point the one end of that thread to a point here, any point, to any point. Suppose that I am taking a point, that point of the thread to this point. Then after that, we have to form in this form as this. Okay, like this. You have to place it over this curved line. And finally, when you start from here, it will rotate like this, and at the same point you will find that they will meet each other. Okay, and after that you have to point out where that 2 points, you have to point out the 2 points, and after that you have to remove from that one, and you have to measure it with a measurement scale. Okay, and after that you will get the actual value of that circular curved line. In this way, you have to measure the three. You can take any values, suppose I have taken here 3 values. So the ratio of this circumference and diameter, you will get a value. For this also you will get some value, and for this also you will get some value. And finally, what you will conclude that the value of this, the ratio of this circumference by diameter, for the first figure, for the second figure, okay, suppose this one is figure 1, this as figure 2, figure 3. Here 3 figures are given. So here you will get the value of the ratio of this circumference by diameter of value. Here also you will get the value, and here also you will get the value. And finally what you will conclude that the value that we have obtained from these 3 figures, they are approximately the same. They have the same constant value. They have the same approximately, not as that accurately, but that may be approximately, that means nearby. They have the same value. It means that these values can be said as to be a constant value. They have the approximately the same value. So we can say that is the constant value. Okay. So now this constant value, it is denoted by the Greek letter pi. Okay, and it was given this name by the Greek mathematicians. Okay, so here the ratio of this circumference by diameter, it is a constant value. It has the fixed value. So and it is denoted by the Greek letter pi. Okay, so the ratio of circumference by, okay, I will write here the ratio of circumference to the diameter of a circle is denoted by pi. Okay, mathematically we can write this as circumference. Here I have written the ratio. So circumference by diameter equals pi. Okay, this pi, that is the constant value, fixed value, and it has the value that is 22/7. I will write here. So where the value of pi equals 22/7, or we can also change it into decimal. Okay, but it will be better for you to keep this fractional value. You should not have to keep the decimal value. Okay, so if you want to find out the accurate value, accurate result, then in that condition you have to apply this one. So the value of this pi, that is 22/7. So from this conclusion, we have got that the ratio of this circumference by diameter, that is pi. Okay. So now from this we can find out the value of circumference. Now how to find that, I will tell you. Okay. So here that or this circumference by this diameter equals pi. Okay, so now this circumference, that can be denoted by the small letter c. So right here, or c by, and diameter by d, small letter d. So here this pi. Now by cross multiplication we got that, or this c equals, if you multiply these two, then pi t. So in order to find the circumference of a circle, we got that we have the formula, that is pi t. Circumference equals pi t. Now similarly here we can also further that we can also derive another formula for this one, and that is, if we take this value then, or c equals pi dot, here dot, that is product, multiply. Okay, and we know that diameter is what? This is our diameter. Now what we call this portion? Only up to this, that is the radius. So here two parts, 1, 2. It means that one diameter that contains two radius. So So we can replace this d by 2 at 2 radius. Therefore this circumference equals, if we multiply these two, 2 pi r. So we have got that two formula in order to derive the circumference of a given circle. So first one, that is pi d, circumference equals pi d, and the second one, that is circumference equals 2 pi r. So here now, in which condition we have to apply which formula? We have to know that one. Suppose that if you are given the diameter only, if you are given the diameter of a circle, then in that condition you have to apply this formula, where the value of this pi, that is 22 by 7. And similarly, if you are given the value of radius, then in that condition you have to apply this one, that is 2 pi r. So here, using this formula, you have to solve the problems. Okay, so you have to think that whether you are given the diameter or radius, and on the basis of that questions you have to solve it. Okay, so now here for today we have discussed about the circumference of circle, and in next video I will tell you that how to find or how to derive the formula for circle. Okay, thank you class. That area of circle. So first of all, we have to take any circle. Suppose that I am taking a circle like this. Okay, suppose this is a circle, and let me consider this as the diameter. Okay, so now here I have written that this is a circle and this is our diameter, and this diameter that splits or divides the given circle in two equal parts. That means this part is equal to this one. Okay, this portion is exactly the same as this portion. Okay, both are equal to each other. So now here, after that, we have to cut these portions, this part, into small pieces. Okay, so that, okay, look at here, you'll be more clear. We have to cut into the several pieces. Suppose that this is one piece. Okay, then this one, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so we have formed 14 equal pieces, and all these pieces that must be equal to each other. Okay, suppose that all these pieces they are equal to each other, then total how many pieces we have formed here? We have to count that one. Okay, so look at here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It means that from this upper portion of this given circle, we have formed total 14 equal pieces. All these pieces they are equal to each other. Okay, so here from this half portion of this circle, here 14 pieces are formed. Now in the same way, we have to form the same pieces, same size of pieces from this other portion, that means this portion also. So here, from here also we will find how many pieces? The same pieces, that is 14 pieces. Okay, so here, so okay, I will construct that one also. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, only 13. Okay, Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Here we have formed 14 pieces here also. Okay. So this one is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. It means that from this whole circle we have found total 28 equal pieces. Okay, here all these pieces they are equal, and how many pieces are here? 28 pieces. So now just consider from up to here only. That means only up to here, from here to here. What do we call this portion? Okay, from here to here. We know that the total portion, that means total, that is the circumference. But from here to here, only this half portion, that is the half of the circumference. So we can write it as C by 2. Can we write? Simply we can write it this one, because the whole portion, similarly here, this portion from here to here, from here to here, that is also C by 2. Now if we add this one and this one, it will be the total circumference of a circle. Okay, so we can write this half portion as the C by 2 and this half portion as the C by 2. Okay, now I think that up to here we have studied that understood. So now how to find the area. So in previous video I have told you that the circumference of a circle. What is the circumference? I will write here. Okay, circumference of a circle equals, we have the two formula. Okay, so now I will solve the first one, that is 2 pi r. We are given that circumference of circle, that is 2 pi r. Here, okay, I will write here C equals 2 pi r. Okay, this one, and another one, circumference of circle, C equals pi d. I will do that for the both condition. Okay, so now here how to find that one. So in first condition I have that written the circumference of circle, that is 2 pi r if you are given the that radius, and in second one diameter. It is the case for diameter. So now here after this we have to form this portion, this circular portion, as in the form of rectangular. We have to form it in the form of rectangle. Now how to form it in rectangle? Okay, so now after that we have to write forming the pieces of the circle as in the form of as the rectangle. Okay, I will write here simply as the rectangle. We get, that means forming the pieces of the circle, this whole pieces, we have to form it in the form of rectangle. Now how to form it in rectangle? Okay, so now consider only the half portion, that means this portion, only of this upper portion, that is from here to this one. Okay, so now these pieces, so now these pieces, if we take that one, then it will be like this. This is our first piece. Okay, now in the same way we have to take all these pieces. So here now second one, third one. It takes lots of time, but it will be easy for you to understand this one. So you must try this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have to continue it up to 14 pieces. 8, 9, 10, 11, this will be 12, this one will be 13, this will be 14. 11, 12, 13, 14. It's not necessary to write these numbers, but it will be easy for you to understand that which that pieces are arranged that in what way. We can be more clear. So I have taken all these pieces 1, 2, 3 up to from here 1 to 14, and I have arranged all these pieces like this. Okay, so from here to here, this portion, only this half portion I have taken this one. Now in the same way, from the bottom portion, that means this portion also, we can get the same pieces. We can get. So now we have to adjust all these pieces between these pieces. That means we can adjust here. If we take this 15, these pieces, and if we insert here in this gap, then one piece that will be from here. In the same way, all these pieces that should be inserted between this, so that it will be compact, completely packed. So this pieces. Okay, here this 15, this pieces I will insert here 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, and one more, this 28. That means all these pieces from 15 to 28 I have inserted in the gap of these pieces. Okay, so now if we consider this whole figure, then it's not exactly the rectangle, same as rectangle, but somehow it will symbolize that it seems to be a rectangle. It is in the form of a rectangle. Okay, here we find that this portion, that means they are somewhat curved line. Okay, but if we take the small pieces, then that will be the somewhat more exactly. Okay, so here if we consider this portion as the length, this is the length and this one is our breadth. So if we consider this one, that is the length, and this one is also length, this is breadth, this is breadth. Okay, now it somewhat it seems to be a rectangle. So we know that area of rectangle, that is L into B. So what is the value of this from here to here? This portion, this, it means these are the portion of 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the chord line. Okay, from here to here. So what is the total? What is the value of this from here to here? That is C by 2. So C by 2. This will be also C by 2. And what is this? It means radius. Okay, so R. It will be also R. Now area of rectangle. What is the area of rectangle? L into B. So what is the length? C by 2 into R. Okay. Now this one. So, and what is the value of C? That is 2 pi R by 2 into R. So it will be 2 cancel, pi into R, pi R square. So area of rectangle, that means this area of rectangle, that is the area of circle. Therefore area of circle equals area of rectangle equals pi R square. It is the case for if you are given the radius, and therefore area of circle equals area of rectangle equals here c by 2 into here radius. Now this circumference we can write it as pi d and radius as d by 2. So if you multiply it, it will be pi d square by 4. So these are the two formula. Okay, that is the formula for area of circle. Okay, thank you class.